Hey, what's up, Aries? This is April with astrolada.com, and I'm here with your September of 2017 monthly horoscope. Thank you so much for tuning in. Before we get started on your horoscope, I just wanted to let you guys know about something special I have for you this month. My webinar on career is going to be at a discounted price. It's going to be at $39 this month instead of $49. In order to celebrate the season of work, which is Virgo season. Virgo is the sign of the job and of the work and work duties. So in order to help you guys out with figuring out what's best for you in that type of area of life, then I have my webinar discounted. So go check it out. I have a link below to where you can download the recorded version of this webinar, and I really hope it helps you guys. Also, keep in mind that these horoscopes are for anyone born under the sun, moon, or rising signs in the sign of Aries. Okay, so your rising sign is the most accurate, and then the sun sign, and then the moon. So make sure you watch those two if they apply to you. Now on to your September forecast. So Aries, this month there's a really huge focus on work, jobs, your routines that you have every single day to take care of yourself, take care of your immediate environment, and also your health. Big focus there. There's a lot of planets moving through the sign of Virgo this month. It is Virgo season in full effect, and it is the season of your 6th house. So going in date order, on the 5th of September, we have Mars moving into the sign of Virgo. So Mars is our action. It's how we move about physically as well. And it's our energy levels and so it's like what we're doing physically. So it's going to be moving into the sign of Virgo. And for you guys, it's focusing on health. Like maybe some of you guys may get more into exercise, and Aries is usually a pretty active sign. So I'm sure you have no problem with that. But this is also being very active within the workplace. Much more active than usual in the workplace. I'm talking about running around, running errands, doing all kinds of stuff. And Mars's energy, it could be a little bit feisty. Mars is your ruling planet, and you're very familiar with the energy of Mars. It can be a little pushy and impatient sometimes, and it can sometimes bring about conflicts. Well, for you guys, you're more likely to have conflicts within the workplace this month. I know it sounds like no fun at all, but just really try to keep your cool, try to keep calm this month when it comes to any issues with coworkers or with customers or clients, because they actually may come after you in a little bit more of an aggressive way, even if you're being nice and calm, you know, Aries person. There may be a lot more problems that come up in the workplace. Just being honest with you, Aries, and maybe just some issues that come up that you have to resolve, not necessarily like butting heads with people, but just a lot more things that you have to look into and investigate and try to resolve and get to the bottom of within your work environment. But yes, also with health, definitely a great time to exercise a little bit more, kick that into high gear. But really try to avoid nervousness, like extra amounts of nervousness, which Mars in the 6th can cause. And also try to be aware of what you ingest, because Mars through the 6th house, it can also aggravate the lower intestine. Okay, so just remember those things with this Mars transit. Also on the 6th of September, we've got a lot going on that day, don't we? We've also got Mercury moving direct in the sign of Leo. So here's the interesting thing about this. This is Mercury going back to 28 degrees of Leo, right? Sitting there, powerful, stationed. Then it starts to move forward at 28 degrees of Leo. And 28 degrees of Leo, that is the eclipse point from the last solar eclipse in Leo last month. This is in your 5th house, so this is reactivating something that the eclipse brought up for you. So this could be in regards to children, this can be in regards to romantic relationships, or even like a creative project that you're doing, or if you own your own business and you get things started on your own yourself. This is all 5th house stuff. It's also hobbies. Okay, so if you considered starting something new with any of those things, Mercury meeting this point is going to help to usher them in a little bit further and to get them going a little bit more. And yes, hooray, hallelujah, Mercury's moving forward, but don't forget, there's still the shadow period for 2 weeks after that. I know. So not until around the 20th of September is it going to be fully back to its regular orbit and no longer causing any mischief with mercurial matters. Also on the 6th of September, we have a full moon in the sign of Pisces. So this is going to be interesting because the moon is going to be in a conjunction with Neptune in Pisces, and then on the opposite end we have the sun in Virgo. So this is at 13 degrees, and this is the moon and Neptune in your 12th house and the sun in your 6th house. So whenever there's a full moon, there's an opposition, there's tension, things are brought to a I can't take this anymore breaking point. And then you decide to change something. You decide to release something, to let something go, or whatever. So this is in regards to health and relaxation, to work and taking time off, okay? Between your physical health and your emotional health and your mental health. So with Virgo season in full effect, Aries, try not to be too nervy. Try not to be too much of a workaholic to where you don't really take care of your physical health, and then you can kind of suffer some consequences, you know, like maybe suffer a burnout or something. Mars in Virgo this month in your 6th house, this is like an overtime transit, okay? So even if your job isn't putting more work upon you, you may put more work upon yourself and pressure to get things done in a faster, more timelier manner, which is good and everything, but at the same time, it can cause a physical burnout, okay? So with this full moon, it's going to be telling you, take some time out, take some time off, take some time away. You know, it's conjunct Neptune. Neptune was escapism and just chilling, you know, next to some water or listening to some music, anything that takes you away from reality in a healthy way, okay? In a healthy way, Aries. But it's really going to help you to learn how to do that a little bit better for yourself. So it's all about taking care of the self, maybe implementing some new routines, daily routines, new schedule, maybe doing a new schedule, one that allows you more free time, you know, allows you some more relaxation going forward, not just during the time of the full moon, but you know, the full moon energy, it lasts for up to a couple of weeks. So, you know, and even going forward, even further than that, it can help you to put some things into place for the long term if you really, really wanted to tap into it that way. So take good care of yourself, Aries, and this full moon, it may bring you to a breaking point. Maybe even with your job, you know, maybe you're at a job that just gives you a lot of anxiety, too much work, too much responsibility, and you're going to be like, I can't take it anymore. I need to leave. So that's another situation that can come up with this full moon. But remember, when one door closes, another one opens. I hate to be corny and cliche, but it's absolutely true. So pretty much the rest of the transits that I'm going to cover are also in the sign of Virgo. We have Mercury now direct back in the sign of Virgo on the 10th of September. So it's back at 0 degrees of Virgo. It was there in the month of August, and now it's coming back around to this point. So anything that you had to deal with as far as mercurial matters in the work environment are going to be brought back up again, but now it's like, okay, now we can proceed without any mishaps, miscommunication, or anything like that, things getting scrambled up there. So now this is you really, really focusing on work, really focusing on your health. Mercury's energy is about managing things. It could be about organizing things too, especially being in the sign of Virgo, the sign of organization and order. So this is definitely a good time to get things organized within your life, Aries. Not just work, not just health. Those will be the biggest focuses here. But this is, like I said, it's Virgo energy. It's about getting things in order, implementing systems in order to keep things going properly. So if you've had to rearrange anything, like maybe rearrange your schedule, for example, rearrange your work duties that you do, then this now Mercury moving forward here is going to help you to continue to do that in a way more organized manner. You'll know what's going on. Maybe there won't be any more mishaps at work with like equipment failure, technology failure, and all that stuff, or emails that were missed and misfiled, or you know, sent to the wrong person or anything like that. You know, now these things can be fixed. On the 19th of September, we have Venus moving into Virgo, and this is your 6th house once again. So Venus joins the party here. We've got the sun there, we've got Mars, we've got Mercury. So now Venus is here. And all the other planets are a little bit more of a masculine energy and like, ooh, let's get to work, you know, let's work really hard. And Venus skips in there, and her energy is a lot more pleasant, a lot more, hey, let's make things sweet and lovely around this place, you know? And I always find that when Venus moves into the work environment house, then this is when people will be like, oh, Aries, you look nice today. I've noticed you've changed something about your look, haven't you? And maybe you haven't, but they're just like really giving more of a pleasant vibe to you, more positive attention to you. And maybe even people might ask you out to lunch and bring you food, because Venus does rule food. So also you can have maybe someone in the work environment that is a female or Venus ruled that can assist you with your work duties. And I know a lot of you guys are going to be working really hard this month, and you really appreciate that. So when it comes to health, Venus in the 6th house, you know, Venus in the 6th house, Venus is beauty, and the 6th house is regimen. So maybe you can start changing up your beauty regimen if that applies to you. Anything that you do, like products that you use to take care of yourself, you can change them up, you know, buy some new ones, try some new stuff, whatever. But also when it comes to health, Venus is food, it's indulgence, it's sweets. So Virgo and 6th house energy is routines and habits, like getting into the habit of doing something. So you may develop like habits of eating badly, I guess we can say that, you know, just really indulging in like sweets and really fattening, like rich foods and stuff like that. So try not to get into those habits if you are an Aries that's trying to watch your diet. And on the 20th of September, we have a new moon in the sign of Virgo. So this is the sun and moon coming together to birth something brand new in your life, in the area of life that Virgo rules, which is work and health and routine. So for some of you Aries, maybe like I said, with the full moon, you were brought to a breaking point where you're like, I can't take this anymore. I am leaving this job. Okay. And then now a new moon in Virgo brings you a new job, or this is a new way of taking care of yourself, maybe a habit, an old habit that you're trying to break. This month, actually, with the full moon and the new moon, this is a time to really change your habits. It's a really good time to let go of anything like an addiction, or that can even be an addiction to food or like sugar or something. You know, I know it's hard to let go of that stuff when you really enjoy it, but this is definitely the month to do so. And a new moon, it can mean a clearing out of something old and saying, you know what, I'm going to release this. I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm starting fresh and new with a new diet, new exercise routine, a new schedule, something that you want to change to make your life run a lot smoother and you can feel a lot better as a human being. On the 22nd, we have the sun moving into Libra. So this is the beginning of Libra season, the beginning of that shift. So the sun moving into Libra, this is a focus now on partnership, on relationships. So this could mean business partnerships like collaborations. You're still going to have that energy hanging on back there in your 6th house of work. So this could be a time when you collaborate with another person in the area of work. That's a possibility. Or it could be relationship stuff, you know, like romantic love relationships, you know, Aries. So maybe some of you guys you're going to start putting a more of an emphasis and a focus on that, because wherever the sun transits in your chart, it's putting a big old flashlight in that area of life, okay? So you're going to be looking around in the relationship world. Like if you're single, it's like, you may be on the prowl a little bit. Or if you are single and you are trying to figure out, why am I not in a relationship? And you're craving that, maybe you can start looking at how you handle yourself in relationships or your past relationships, and you know, how those people acted, and maybe the patterns that you have of attracting certain people or behaving in certain ways. So it's a really good time to take a good look at those things. But if you are already in an established relationship, this could be a time where you and your partner start putting more of a focus on each other too. And what you can do to make your relationship better as well. Because like I said, we still have Virgo energy hanging out, which is all about making things run smoother and, you know, getting down to the bottom of issues and details. So maybe you guys can use both of those energies together once the sun shifts into Libra to work on some issues that you guys may have, you know, work out some problems that you have to better the relationship. Or you guys just may want to cozy up and, you know, spend a lot more time with one another, which is a beautiful thing, Aries. So that was it for your September 2017 forecast. Thank you guys so much. Don't forget, I do provide personalized readings on astrolada.com, including job, career readings, okay, which are highlight and a focus this month. Don't forget about the career webinar. It's now reduced, so you can take advantage of that. Or any other type of reading, I would be so glad to speak with you on Skype or do a recorded personal reading for you. All right, so take care, Aries. I will see you guys next month.